All right, guys. Hey, welcome to Medicare Agent Jobs. We're going to be having some upcoming interviews with other Medicare agents that have been in the business and in the industry for a while. And so please go to Facebook where we have our co-working by LIFL communities. And you can go right on the Facebook. And then also too, if you're looking for to be a Medicare agent, whether it's a captive agent that works for an insurance company, or whether you want to go on your own as an independent Medicare insurance broker, we have a resource for you called MedicareAgentJobs.us, where you can look to see what's available in the marketplace and take a few steps if you're looking into the insurance path. Insurance path is very straightforward, but you got to go through these steps to become an insurance agent. Whether you go on the captive route, whether you go on the independent route, or maybe there's going to be a mix of both nowadays. So stay tuned. Please go to our social media and YouTube channels, and that's how you'll stay in touch and be informed about your Medicare insurance path. All right, we're here with Leah Hill, the owner and operator of Low Country Insurance Brokers down here in Charleston, South Carolina. I'm excited to have her. She's not only a friend, but she is a wealth of knowledge and resource for, I believe, agents out there that are female that want to know more about the business as a female in the industry. So Leah, if you don't mind just telling us a little bit about your backstory, how did you get started in the insurance space from the beginning?
Yeah. I got my insurance license in 2001. I temporarily worked for State Farm, and quickly realized I didn't like working for someone else. So I had a friend introduce me to the Medicare world that I had no idea about, no clue.
Yeah.
And I was very intrigued by it. It offered me the opportunity to be self-employed and work for myself. So I dove into that in 2011. And at that point, I was captive, but I didn't know what that meant at that point. Had no idea. So I learned a lot, kind of made mistakes, learned how to do things differently with Medicare supplements. Medicare Advantage plans weren't too big at that time. But that slowly came along. So I was captive in 2011 until about 2016. So that was when I realized that we could make a whole lot more money with being on our own. So I had a conversation with two other girls that I worked with, and kind of chatted about what the opportunities would be not being captive.
Yeah, that's super interesting that you bring that up, because with MedicareAgentJobs.us, it's literally trying to discern and help not only new agents, but maybe current agents that are in the captive space, and comparing and contrasting what they're getting paid to what the independent insurance broker is getting paid. And that can be pretty wide, right?
It is.
One is obviously, we'll get into this more on a separate video, but one is obviously more of like a salary. You're getting steady pay, but you're also making a lot of money for whoever you're working under, right?
Actually, I wasn't even getting a salary. It was just a lower commission rate.
Oh no. Yeah, so we have definitely some similar stories from our beginning as well. I didn't get a salary in the beginning as well, but that's a different video. But we want to go back on to how you got started and what were the initial successes that you had in the insurance space to keep you going. You know, like what was like, when did you make your first sale? You know, how did that feel to you?
I would say the successes that kept me going was creating those relationships with the clients, and and realizing that I was truly helping them,
Yep.
either saving them money, explaining how Medicare works,
Yeah.
letting them know about government programs that are out there for them that they
Wow.
have no idea about. So that's, and then slowly seeing my book of business grow and realizing, okay, I can do this.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah. That's super cool. Like your story is a one where you're just kept on, adding value, like whether you told them about a program that actually reduced their cost sharing in some way, or whether you shop their rate in some way, or just being available, because a lot of people, if they don't know that you do insurance, then they don't know that you're available,
no,
right?
no,
And so I would say, in the beginning, it's like, is as long as you get one member at a time, and then all of a sudden they start referring other folks, it's a snowball effect, right? So and would you go into how you sell your senior, what type of senior products that you sell, how you help them, and let people know that you've been doing this face to face for years. Just because we're online doesn't mean she's been doing online for years. And this is something Leah and I talk about all the time, right, Leah?
yes, um he teases me. He teases me about it.
I know, in a loving way, in a loving way.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do a lot of face to face because Medicare is at times very hard to understand. And
Mm,
especially if I'm dealing with someone in their 70s and 80s, I just want to make sure that they understand and that I'm not just someone
yeah.
haphazard. So
Hmm.
I like creating those relationships. Um, so it's been I'm trying to move more towards over the phone because I have kept the roads hot. They
Hmm.
a lot of miles on the vehicle, so I am trying to reduce those face to faces and not do as much hand holding.
Yeah.
So I do the Medicare um, products, and I do life insurance,
Hmm.
do the dental and the vision and hospital indemnity plans. I'm trying to really incorporate those plans more because if they're on a hospital indemnity plan, I mean a Medicare Advantage plan,
Hmm. Hmm.
they need a hospital indemnity or
Hmm.
something small that can even help them a little bit to
Hmm.
fill those holes.
Yeah.
So now that I've got um, someone that can help me
Hmm.
navigate that, it kind of relieves all the pressure of trying to do everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we're gonna leave you guys on a cliffhanger, but basically, we have some things coming in the pipeline for those new agents and the seasoned agents out there that just don't want to be alone and need support. But but yeah, with Leah, she is a face-to-face like guru in my opinion, because I literally started the industry over the phone, so I had no experience doing face to face. So the fact that Leah has all that experience is like she can tell, like in a situation, okay, these folks could qualify for LIS. These folks could have be on a Medicare Advantage, dual eligible special needs, and she knows about those different programs. And the thing about being a Medicare insurance agent, whether you're captive or independent, it's all about the relationships and how you build upon them. So if you're adding value like Leah does since 2011, or even earlier than that, then literally that's how you build those relationships. And people think insurance is just like these big companies not doing anything, but they pay billions of dollars in health and life insurance claims each and every year. And so if you have like an advocate and an agent that is licensed, seasoned, and trusted, like Leah, then you're definitely going to have somebody that's on your side. And that's what I think they really want, is that reassurance, right, Leah? They
mhm.
want reassurance that nobody's taking advantage of them. This is not a scam call, all that stuff, to where they just have their guard up nowadays. But it's something where you can break through and you can be successful within a short period of time, and you can keep going since 2011, right?
Right.
It's 2016. She beat me. But it's been a good journey, right, Leah? It really has been.
I absolutely love what I do.
Mhm.
It's nothing that I would have said, oh, this is what I want to do when for my profession.
Right.
Wouldn't have ever said it, but there's
Right.
nothing else I'd rather do. I want to do it past
Mm.
retirement age. I don't know that I would ever really want to stop fully doing it.
Oh, yeah, yeah, and we are generally talking to the new agents out there just because of the website that I and resource that I have. And so, what would you say to the new agent coming into the senior market or the Medicare insurance uh, space when it comes to getting into the industry? Do you think the captive route is okay? Do you think going independent's okay? Like, tell them what some of the pros and cons are with getting into our space. Because obviously you understand, it is a industry that is cutthroat, but at the same time, once you get your once you get your initial uh, career rolling in whatever path, there's definitely steps to level up, and it can be very, very lucrative, right?
I think on having the knowledge of what a captive agent means, and does that mean whatever business you write stays with that company, or you're able to take it with you? Some kind of operate a little differently. So it's important to ask those questions. If I were to leave and go on my own, can I take these clients with me?
Mm-hmm.
And that's very important because you don't want to lose what you've already created.
Yep. Yep.
I think the captive way, one benefit that I experienced was the training that I got. I did learn a lot, um, but it may have been just my particular uh, agency that I was with. I don't know that every agency is like that, and I don't even know that they do it the same way now. Honestly,
Right. Yeah.
um,
Training's very key. I didn't get a whole lot of training in the beginning, but there is a resource on Medicare agent jobs.us that you can get training whenever you want. So yeah, that's a training is huge. Training is huge. So and support is huge because in the beginning there is training, but there's not a whole lot of like support and knowing what to do in the process, especially if you're a brand new, like just past your state insurance exam. There's all these questions, right?
yeah.
And so knowing now what you know now, what would you change about how you started in the industry? How would that have impacted you? Because you know a lot more now in terms of growing, a client base, having people to talk to, making sure that you are, having those relationships where they do refer you out, they do see you as a resource. What do you think you would change?
That is a really hard question.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely have shortened the amount of time that I spent with the captive agency.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and looking back now, having a CRM, knowing what a CRM, knowing what it can do for you, just having the ability to look at all your clients and know what products they have is huge.
Yeah.
For cross selling, for okay, they don't have life insurance, we can call them and see what that situation is.
Yeah.
So I would say having a great resource for your clients. Not that it's with your, if you're in a captive, if it's all there and you can't take it with you, kind of know that, you know,
Yeah.
having it separate, you know, they, like you said earlier, they may have your best interest at heart, but they also have their best interest at heart as well.
Yeah. 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 And you just got to choose. Like, agents have to choose. It's just like Medicare. There's these two main paths, right? And it's literally, if you're going to go the captive route, know that you are going to be going with mainly salary or commission or just commission or a mix of both. And then knowing that you have to abide by, that particular agency, which is just fine for those folks that like to work under those, that type of structure. But for the folks that like a little bit more, self-reliance and don't mind being self-employed, um, this path over here, the one that Leah and I are on, we would like to educate more folks about, because we didn't get that type of education in the beginning of what contracts are, what contract levels are. How do I get paid? I mean, how do I track my commissions? What are the resources out there for an independent agent that doesn't want to just do everything by themselves? Start a digital marketing and brand and logo and all that, and that stuff takes time. And if you're not talking to people, then basically, the way you make a living is to talk to as many people as possible, and then see who can help, see who you can help. And whether you get 5 to 10 people every week, or whether you get, a lot more than that, depends on how many people you yourself as an independent or agent can talk to. And that's where the rubber meets the road, in my opinion, about how being able to scale your business from just, hey, I'm making a set salary, to where, wow, now I'm actually making that salary, you know, every week. For most people, that's not fathomable, because they're in a set salary for the year. But with us, there's literally no cap, to where it's just like, the more we sell, the more we earn. The more we earn, the more we're able to grow. And so there's just more like, would you say, Lee, like more like you're looking for a growth mindset when it comes to independent versus like, and not to say that's bad, like salary is like, that's what a lot of people are used to growing up. They make an hourly wage, like, it's not bad. It's just you got to discern which path you're going to take, the captive or the independent. And then there's some obviously some other jobs in there that's not on in the that's in the insurance space, that's not necessarily tied into selling. There's customer service representatives, there's insurance solicitors, there's adjusters, there's underwriters. So just because we're just talking about Medicare agent jobs, and we're talking about insurance agents, insurance producers, we're not necessarily telling you that, hey, this is the only path for your career. But the insurance space has, a number of different ways you can get into the Medicare insurance space, because there's customer service representative, there's admin support, right? And so we're just hitting the tip of the iceberg, just because we're specifically talking to licensed insurance agents throughout the U.S. And so if you have questions about, becoming a Medicare insurance agent, independent broker, if you will, or going the captive route, please reach out to us. You can go to medicareagentjobs.us and email us at apply@medicareagentjobs.us. And I'd be happy to answer some of your questions. If you found this video helpful, please let us know in the comments below. But Leah, thanks so much for being on and chatting with us. It is a true pleasure to know Leah, because we've been talking for a little over a year now, and we've learned a lot just by talking to each other. So
Very true.
having a community where you talk to one another about your business, your strategies, it doesn't mean we have to step on each other's toes, which
Mm-mm.
happens a lot in our industry. But it does mean that when you collaborate and you share knowledge, you actually grow in a relationship that's like uh, co-working, if you will. Even though we're in our own separate entities and businesses. So thank you guys for watching, and Leah, thank you for coming on.
Thanks, Michael.
All right, we'll talk soon. Bye, guys.